Florida. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Tonight, it's on to Week 10 already, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Miami Dolphins. Taken about 7 yards deep, and he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
Anytime anyone throws for over 300 yards in a game, you know their name is going to be considered for Offensive Player of the Week. And in the AFC last week, our guy got it.
Yeah, he was the guy on top of his game. He'll try to duplicate that here in this one. They start on the ground with Geis, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Tua going to throw. Off to Geis on the screen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Throwing on second down, Trubisky. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Complete to Cordero.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Dolphins drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 13. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. Despite some tough running, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. The big nose tackle, Danny Shelton, there to swallow him up. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season. We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring up the Super Bowls, because that would have been, what, Super Bowl 46, Giants-Patriots.
You're testing my memory.
And also
yeah.
Super Bowl 48, which was Broncos-Seattle when the snap went over the head of the QB. And guess what? It was 2-zip Seattle right out of the gate.
Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. 1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 14 carries, 68 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
A quick throw to the left flat, and he's got it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I don't think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often.
They'll run with Montgomery, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. The first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. They try again with Montgomery. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Ball carrier.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On third and goal, Trubisky. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line.
We're scoreless after one.
With no score.
Geis with a carry on second down. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Miami. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 19-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's going to, we still have December left, early in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
It's just
Give him 3 on first down. He'll set up a 2nd and 7. Montgomery on the counter. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They have 3 yards on first down. Just
I saw a video. It was
Bears on
just
third
shouting
down.
around
Just
in the
1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Take it for the loss. Are you serious?
Out of the gun, Trubisky. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver.
I don't have sympathy.
I think he was the first tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice game.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He
But did he
can only
survive,
get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the brings up 2nd and
Relax, go.
at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. When number came out, I could feel the heat.
Inside the 35.
It's like this part.
CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a first down on a gain of 10. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, those things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On third down, Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
Trubisky's pass.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
And Gay knocks this one through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. On second down, Tua. They'll set up the screen to Smith. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Third down, here's Geis. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
That is caught at the 7. Touchdown, Chicago! Riley Ridley, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Out of the gun on third down, here's Tua. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And this will be a Bears first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Trubisky's pass is caught by Ridley. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on 2nd down, Trubisky. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory down at the 31. Now it's Trubisky. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
At their own 25-yard line.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
6-yard line.
From the gun, it's Tua. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
13 yards the tally on the return there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 43. He'll set up to throw. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
The ball carrier.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Miami set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line.
Seven yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On the option, here's Tua. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Loa's pass. Incomplete. Intended for Ito Smith.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Miami. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
The Bears take over 1st and 10. At their own.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
3rd down. And 10 yards to go.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Powers through. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Tua sets up to pass it. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
It's second and inches at the 41-yard line.
Looking to pass. Tua off to Thomas on the left side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 yards on the play. First down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
It's now second and 10.
Tua once again here on second and 10. That's complete to Smith. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 8-yard line.
Now Tua. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And it's 17-7, so that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins.
Dolphins 7.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 26.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 31-yard line.
From the 31, Trubisky. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now it's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Take over 1st and
the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
On second down, Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now Trubisky to throw. He'll find Miller. That's complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First down, Chicago.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll keep it on the ground. Montgomery, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now a run with Montgomery. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Michael Dixon set to kick off.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken about 7 yards deep, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Over the middle here to Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
15 more.
Now Tagovailoa. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of